Okay, to solve these equations, we'll look at 51 first. There's two types of log equations that you solve, and anytime you have a log, most of the time you want to convert it to an exponent. But there are some log equations that you don't have to do that for. So you want to pay attention. If there's logs on both sides or if there's logs on one side. All right, 51 has logs on both sides. 52 has logs on both sides. 53 has logs on both sides. 54 has logs on both sides. 55 doesn't. 56 doesn't. So we'll deal with those in a second. So 51 through 54, when you have logs on both sides, these are the easy ones. I can teach a 9th grader to do this. You get them so that they're single logs. Is that a single log? 51, yes. Is this a single log? So since I have a single log here, a single log here, since I'm taking log base 11, what has to be true? 3n minus 8 has to equal 1. You drop the logs. Equals 1. Okay? So drop the logs off. What do? Now you solve. Add 8 divided by 3. What are you going to get when you add 8 divided by 3? You're going to get 3n equals 9, and you get n equals 3. There you go. Now, you should always check this solution. Now, I'm going to make a comment about this. You need to make sure when you plug in your value for the variable, you don't get a negative, because what can you not take the log of? You cannot take the log of a negative. Does everybody say that with me? You cannot take the log of a negative. You can't take the log of a negative. You also can't take the log of 0. You're going to sound really smart. You can't take the log of negative, and you can't take the log of 0. So make sure, if I plug 3 in, is that okay? Yes, 3 times 3 is 9. 9 minus 8 is 1. 1, good to go. All right, take a look at 53. Do we have the same log on both sides?
Yeah.
Are they single logarithms?
Yeah.
Then what's true? X squared plus 45 is equal to 13x plus 3. And people were asking me about this. What do you have to do to solve this equation?
Put it on one side.
Set it equal to 0. Anytime you have a power equation, you got to set it equal to 0 and try and factor it. So we're going to have x squared minus 13x plus 42 equals 0. Does it factor?
Yeah.
What does it factor into? X minus 6, x minus 7. This is a parabola. Does a parabola, is its inverse a function? No, that's why there's two solutions. So you get x equals what? 6, x equals 7. We got to check both of them. Does 6 make this positive? Does 6 make that positive? Does 7 make this positive? 7 make this positive? They both work. If you have one that'll make it negative or 0, you got to throw it out. It won't work. Any questions so far? Are we good? Okay, now that's logs on both sides. What about logs on one side? Logs on one side are a little different because when you have log on one side, it's very similar to what I was saying before. You want to convert it to an exponent. So if you don't have logs on both sides, if there's only log on one side, now you want to convert it to an exponent. So let's say 56, for example. Okay, that's negative log of negative 2n equals negative 4. Is there logs on both sides or just one side? All right, we want to convert it to an exponent. What's the base for log?
10.
If you don't see it, it's always understood to be base 10. So we're going to convert it. Before I do that, let's go ahead and divide by what?
Negative.
So we're going to have log of negative 2n is equal to positive 4. Now we convert it to a what? You want to figure out a log? Convert it to a 10 to the what?
4.
Equals negative 2n. There you go. That'll be 10,000. 4 zeros. Not too hard. Divide by negative 2. What are you going to get n to be?
Negative 5.
Negative 5,000. There's your answer. And if you check it and plug it in, is it going to make it positive in the original one? Yes, you're good to go. Let's do one more. Let's do one where it has properties. Let's do number 60. All right. Is it logs on both sides or one side? One side. There's only logs on the left. But is it a single log? Now you got to use properties. You got to put it back together. What do you do when you got subtraction and you want to put it back into a single log? Divide. So we're going to have log x squared plus 9 divided by 9 equals 1. Is it a single log? Now you convert it to a exponent. What's the base of common log? base 10. So it's 10 to the first equals x squared plus 9 over 9. How do you solve this? Multiply by 9. You're going to get 9. You guys are awesome. Equals x squared plus 9. What do you do now? Subtract 9. You're going to get 81 is equal to x squared. What do you do? Square root of both sides. You get x equals what? Will both of them work? Plug it in. Will 9 work? Will negative 9 work?
Yes.
Because when you square a negative, you're going to get a positive anyway, so they both work. Does that make sense?
Yes.
There you go. That is the quiz tomorrow. Say hi to the other class.